tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So on today's video we are going to talk about a free-to-play commander that has a very specific role for the free-to-play commander lineup, especially if you're running infantry. But there is also a hidden buff to this commander that is going to help you in the long run. Even if you're a maxed account, it doesn't really matter. The hidden buff that this commander is going to give you is going to be something that you're going to use every day and sometimes many times in the day, so it's going to give you a big edge over the other people. So this commander that I'm talking about is going to be Commander Halley, and she's going to have an interesting story behind her overall character, where Commander Halley was the chieftain of the Moon Brothers. And the Moon Brothers, for those that don't really remember from the books or the show, in the show there was only a small little mention to them, but in the books there was a big part where the Moon Brothers were a tribe living in the Moon Mountains, and they were like mercenary army. It wasn't very strong, but it was really useful, especially on the season 1 of the show. You're going to see Tyrion using the moon to retake the Vale, and there was a small hint on them on the Battle of the Blackwater on the season 2, where the Moon Brothers actually helped defending King's Landing from the Stannis fleet, and they were paid really well. In the game, Halley is going to be, as I said, a free-to-play commander that has a lot of stuff to offer in the table, and it's really important, in my opinion, to use her if you're running infantry and especially female synergy. So let's go over her stats first, and we will go from awakening to her weapon and what synergies she's really good at and where you can use her. So in terms of stats, I'm gonna start from bottom and talk to the top. So we got the infantry attack increase by 30%, we got the wall defense increase by 50%, again on gold quality, and we got the motivation increase by 600, again in the gold quality. All these traits are somewhat good. I don't really like the wall defense increase, but the infantry attack and the motivation limit is really good and useful in my opinion, and we're going to talk about the motivation limit extensively when we're going to talk about her awakening and her overall usefulness. In the guards department, this is where Commander Halley is on the stats, is on the training grounds, the Weirwood Memories or the rebel leaders. So she's going to be a defensive commander, really good frontline commander, especially if you're running many free-to-play commanders. So she's going to deal 4,500 damage to enemies on a straight line. She's going to grant 10,500 damage reduction and 25% control resilience for 15 seconds at the start of the battle, meaning that she's going to be tankier and she's not going to be stunned as long as other commanders. And there's going to be a 50% chance of reflecting 50% damage in the 5 seconds when attacked. So she's going to have a bounce back feature that she's going to deal damage back to the enemies when she's getting damage herself. And last but not least, she's going to add defense to your whole formation, 2,800 almost to be exact. So as we said, she's going to be really good defensive commander, but her base attack value of 7,500, it's not bad either. So she's going to be really useful in training grounds, and I personally use her against spear rebel leaders, since the countering damage bonus is going to be really good, and it's going to go hand in hand with your attack and defense stats. Of course, every Awoken Commander bonus power always comes from Awakening said commander, so we're going to look into Hale's Awakening and talk further about her special trait and where the 4-star ability of this commander is going to make her more useful, especially in more PvP focused formations. So let's start with the 4 stars bonus stats that this commander is going to get, and go from there. On level 40 and the 4-star Awakening, Hale is going to get 18% on infantry defense, infantry health and infantry attack, plus 400 motivation limit increase. Obviously going down is going to be less, but this is the max amount of stat that she's going to get. Going to the first tier, she's going to get increased damage for her active army skill, which is really good, and the max level increase from 60 to 65. On the second tier, she's going to get a friendship increase by 1 star, a cooldown reduction by 2 seconds on her active army skill, and another 5 levels bonus on the max level. On third star, she's going to get the enhanced specialization perk, which is going to increase the passive skill value by 1.6 times or 60% of the original value. Her active army skill is going to get a 60% damage increase, and last but not least another 5% 5 levels on her max, going up to 75. And last but not least, and where every commander actually becomes the maximum power that it can get, is the 4-star Awakening, where she's going to go up to 80 level with the bonus, with the last 5 bonus level increase, another 3% added to the previous cooldown reduction, so it's gonna go down to 15%, 15 seconds per active army skill, and last but not least, her 4-star ability, the Moon Brothers Protection. So every one time Hale uses her active skills, ally infantry will have a 40% chance to obtain a shield that grants immunity to damage. One times lasts for 3 seconds. So does every one time Hale uses her active skill ring you a bell? It should actually, because this is the perk that every female commander needs in order to be eligible to join the female synergy lineup. So to grant immunity to 1 damage 1 time, it could mean many things. It's going to negate maybe 1 active army skill, it's going to negate 1 bleed tick, or it could just negate 1 hit from the enemy troop lineup, which if you do it just a single time, it's not going to sound really good, but if you keep proccing her 4-star ability with the correct formation, the damage reduction that she's going to offer is going to be really great in my opinion. So going back again to her overall stats, we're going to see that the 3rd star is going to increase our overall passive bonus stats, so the infantry attack is going to go up to 48%, the castle building wall defense is going to go up to 80%, and the motivation limit is going to go up to 960. So here is the small section that I want to talk about, the special thing that Hale has. Maybe it's not that special, but in my eyes it actually is. So on her 3 stars, with her enhanced specialization plus of course the commander being in gold quality, the motivation limit increase from Hale is going to go up to around 1300 motivation, which in reality 1300 motivation is 1250 blue diamonds. So if you keep that into consideration, that every day you're going to have a bonus motivation of 1300. It's going to go up to 1400 almost on max quality. It's going to help you a lot, especially if you unlock here in the earlier stages of the game, since if you add that amount of blue diamonds that you can save up every day from having Halley on 3 stars and max book power, this means that every day you can save up about 1250 blue diamonds each day. If you make it up to a month, it's gonna go up to almost 40,000 blue diamonds per month. So of course, having Halley from as early as possible and making her as awakening as you can is going to give you an added bonus to your castle that's going to be passive, and it's going to help you a lot in terms of rebel killing. So this was my small editor's note on Halley. So let's move to the tavern and talk about your stats there, and then we're going to check your weapon as well. So here we are in the tavern, and considering Halley is a free-to-play commander, having a combat rate of 2 stars and a command of 3 on the base quality, it's actually really good and really useful. Combat rate is going to be the total attack stats increase, and the command is going to be the free troops that you can get of the highest quality that you have, excluding tier 5s. If you get here to 2 stars, she's gonna go up to overall quality of 7 with 4 points on command and 3 points on combat rate. She's gonna need food in order to get the most efficient leveling in her kit, and of course, as I said, having a free-to-play commander that is going to give you combat rate and that early is going to be really useful in the development of your account. On the weapons department, the Unyielding Mountain, it's going to be her weapon and shield also. This is going to be an infantry weapon, of course, which is going to give you infantry attack and total health. And of course, using this weapon on Commander Halley, and if he's 4 stars, it's going to give you an added benefit as well. So on the no stars weapon, the basic weapon is going to change a little bit the 4-star ability to not only give you a shield with a 40% chance every time you use your active army skill, she's going to get an increase of 4% infantry health each time. This bonus might seem small, but of course if the commander uses many active army skills throughout the battle, it's gonna get bigger and bigger. And of course, getting the weapon on higher and higher stats, we're going to see on the 4 stars, you're going to get 30% infantry health every time you trigger an active army skill. 30% is actually almost a bit more than half a badge of infantry health, of gold infantry health badge. So having half infantry health badge increase every time you use your active army skill, in my eyes at least, it's really good. Other than that, this weapon can also provide you with infantry base attack, and with the base cost of reroll being 40, is going to be really cheap to reroll it and eventually get a really good outcome out of your weapon, and hopefully get the max amount of base attack that you can get, which is going to be 11 for this particular weapon. In order to obtain this weapon, sadly you can only obtain this weapon from the recharge event that it's happening during the archery contest, where you can get the 10 first fragments from recharging 10 black diamonds, and you are going to get a chest that's going to give you the rest of 90 fragments when you recharge 100 black diamonds. Or I'm not really sure about that, but it may be 90 or 100. So anyway, you're going to get the weapon for recharging 1000 black diamonds for certain, and this event happens once a month. so you can pretty easily max your weapon pretty quickly by getting one weapon each month at least. So as I said, Halley is a free-to-play commander, but we have to talk about again how to obtain her medals, and the way you get them is from clearing stages in the Weird Tree. 221, 229 and 238 is going to give you some medals. It's going to be 18 in total, but of course her tokens are going to be in the Weird shop, where you can get the first 50 for 2000 coins each and the rest 120 3000 coins each. Of course this shop is going to reset every about 14 days, so you can stick to the 2000 coins each time to get the most amount of your Weird tokens and get here for cheaper. Also, in order to awaken Halley, you are going to need Elite General tokens, and you're going to able to get them that from the VIP shop for 2000 each, or you can trade 8 Halley tokens for one Elite General token. To summarize the overall review of Commander Halley, as I said, she has a really important spot in the meta of the game, especially if you're not going to get many expensive commanders. She's going to be a great fit for your female synergy, only if you're running Inf, of course, because she's going to be Inf focused in her stats, but her 4th ability is going to be really useful, especially paired with Layla and her Mama Bear 4th ability, in order to get the most amount of shields out of her. Additionally, her help in increasing the motivation limit for your account is going to be really useful going forward in the game, and as I said, we're going to save you a lot of blue diamonds as you play the game. Do a small calculation. Halley can save you up to like 500,000 blue diamonds each year, and if you combine that with motivation recovery, it's going to save you even more. So as I said, it's going to be a hidden gem in your commander lineup, not only for fighting, not only for killing rebel leaders or the training grounds fights, but it's going to help you develop your account and save you blue diamonds on the way. So I think that pretty much covers everything about Halley. I don't have anything else to talk about her, and I think I covered everything for her. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Bye bye.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.